Yo, what's good everybody? It's Don the Tap King. Today I have for you Winota, join our forces, aka the Trap Queen. Let's get it.
Tap Kings, baby.
Winota, joiner of forces, aka the Trap Queen. Basically what she does, whenever a non-human creature you control attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a human creature card from among them onto the battlefield, tap and attacking. It gains indestructible to the end of turn. Put the rest of the cards on the bottom of your library in a random order. Basically, this is a green deck. When I look at Winota, I get to I'm running 48 creatures in this deck. Basically a green deck, basically the way people intended to play Magic back in the day. Gives me the early mid 1990 vibes of playing Magic. However, these creatures operate a little different. They have oppressive abilities, stacks abilities. You can slow down your opponents. The stack abilities aren't going to affect you as much. You're still going to bring more creatures out and then touch face. Boom, 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 body everybody. So, I'm not going to go over all the creature cards in this deck. Most of them are just staples with Winota. However, I will tell you like the ones that my new additions, and then also the ones I feel like should stand out a lot. Starting with Ajani, this card is great for multiple reasons. The front side is good, back side is even better. Front side gives a non-human creature token, so potentially another Winota trigger. Plus to include it itself. Also, when you flip it to the back side, it has really great effects. The one that is probably the most important is probably the 0. Loyalty ability, create a 2/1 white cat warrior creature token. When you do, if you control a red permanent other than a Johnny, it deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to any target. So this is really good. It could be a removal ability to say there's a creature on the battlefield that's a threat that we gotta get rid of, gone. Or you could just hit someone in the face with a good amount of damage. Very flexible, very versatile, definitely muscle gangs.
He's a very bad man.
So this guy's jacked on the card. Side note, I am in the studio, Tap King Studio. I will probably do a full preview soon. Also has my gym in here as well, so it's half the gym, half Tap King Studio. It's probably like the best environment to drive in. I can live, create decks all at the same time.
Sensational.
Even Interrupter. This is a delay on a stick. Flash flying when an Interrupter enters the battlefield, exile target spell, it becomes plotted. Spells your opponent cast from the graveyards or from exile cost 2 more to cast. This I would consider as a flex spot, but it's like I feel like it's a tech card that I've been playing with for a while. I like it. I like the way it runs in the deck. It does 2 things. It gives you Monarch, and it helps you retain Monarch for a little bit longer. Gives you the extra card draw, definitely matters. And obviously it's a human, so you could potentially flip into it. We're not trying to hard cast this card. So champions enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. At the beginning of combat on each of your opponent's turn, if you are the monarch, that opponent may pay X, where X is the number of cards in their hand. If they don't, they cannot attack you. Some people forget that second ability. I never forget that second ability. So if they really want to attack me, they're going to have to play spells on their second main phase, or they have to figure out the logistics of their hand and what they want to do to figure out if it's feasible to attack me that turn or actually try to progress their board. So it's definitely a good tech card. I don't see it on a lot of lists, which is fine, but that's one of the few pieces that I think I deviate from the rest. Combat Celebrant and the Fire Dancer. Basically that's the infinite combo in the deck, the only infinite combo in the deck. Basically, you're going to exert the copy, the token that you create with the Fire Dancer. Obviously make a copy of Combat Celebrant, and then exert the token, the copy that you created, and then that's gonna have you untap all your creatures and then get an additional combat step. So basically, the way we win with Winota is turning that creature sideways and just slapping everybody in the face. Pop, 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 body, body, body.
Him, her, him, bodies.
Nothing else to talk about. It's straightforward. It's creatures, 48 creatures, right? So, like I said, this is like old school Magic. Just keep dropping creatures with great synergy, slow down your opponents, and just slap everyone in the face. That's the way we run Winota. So that's the only combo that I run here. infinite combo. Most of these others are straightforward. Let's see. Doorkeeper Thrall is pretty cool. No ETBs. It was an issue. I actually put it in after they banned a dockside. It doesn't really affect me as much. It will slow down other people. That's the Oracle combo. It slows them down. They have to figure out how to remove this first in order to resolve their combo. So definitely slows everybody down with the exception of myself. I'm good with it. Granted, I don't want people to play the commander. I just want to play my commander, slow them down. And again, most of these are staples, right? Staple stack pieces. Flame Rider is a flex spot. You can remove it, you can keep it. I like the dash ability. Creates a token, very versatile. I like creating tokens of my creatures, potentially to create more tokens, and then to get more Winota triggers, just to have a very dominant board state at all times, and also try to protect them. And I'll show you a couple ways how I go about protecting my creatures with while Winota's on the battlefield. Frontline Medic is one of the ways, actually. When he attacks, him plus 2 other creatures, all your creatures get indestructible. Like I said, staple. Gorilla Shaman, I don't see that in a lot of lists. It's a 1-drop. I love this card still. Even with Mana Crypt Gun, I don't care. People still play Mox Diamond. There's other Silver Rock Mana Rocks. Gorilla Shaman is great. I'll pay 1 mana and just pop someone's Mox Diamond, whatever it may be, you know, Mox Amber, whatever they're rocking at that time. I do not care. I want to slow down my opponent. I will pay 3. It is 3. Yeah, 3 to remove a Soul Ring. I don't care. If that's the only ramp, that's gonna hurt them more than it hurts me. I promise you. So very good to slow down opponents. Just keep removing those mana rocks. Ideally, you want to remove the 0 ones, but if you could, obviously, if you need to pop a Soul Ring, then you just have to pop a Soul Ring. You know, great card. I try to play this card in most of my red decks. Sometimes it doesn't make the list, but I really think this is a really strong tech card. Again, this would be considered a flex slot as well. So this card is great. It replaces itself with a treasure token, and then for the Encore ability, you get more treasures and potentially more triggers from Winota when she's on the battlefield. So really great. Oscillate Pride. So this is a really good card. So there's a couple ways that I do make creature tokens, or tokens for that matter, treasure tokens as well. This, if I have City Blessing, I get double the amount of tokens, which I think is really great. It produces tokens, which non-human tokens, creature tokens, so that you already know that's going to be more Winota triggers. So that's kind of like the concept. Get Winota onto the battlefield, already have creatures in place to enable her to get those triggers, and then protect Winota, so you can continue to get those triggers, continue to build up your board, and protect your board. So that's kind of the concept of it. With this current meta, I ran this version of this deck last week. Did amazing. There's a couple cards that you can switch in and out, and those are the ones I'm saying are the flex spots, but for the most part, this deck was freaking smooth. Dogo, this one is good. It could exile a creature, it could exile one of your creatures if you need to get another ETB, or just remove a blocker, or remove a threat piece temporarily, so you can kind of get your attacks in. So Titan of Fire's Fury. This card is amazing. Love the escape cost. I love to bring it back to the battlefield. Obviously, when creatures start to die, they go to the yard. They have no value in the yard. This card brings value to those cards. ETBs is gonna pop somebody in the face. If you make a creature token of this card, that's another 3 damage, gain 3 life. So there's a lot of flexibility with this card. When they printed this card, I was happy. I was like, it's an auto include for Winota. Great, more stacks, treasures, tutor with some utility. Staple, right? This is definitely staple in this deck. Protection. This card I would say is a flex spot. It's nice in the beginning. Definitely not a bad card. A lot of people don't play this card in their Winota. I think it's a miss. I mean, it's still most likely it's gonna come in. It's gonna be a 6/6 with flying. You know, you can't beat that. For 1 mana, it's an amazing card. So now we're on to non-creature cards. I'm gonna start off with Jessica's Will. Ritual card advantage, straightforward. Great card. However, this is my baby right here. All right, I'm gonna pop one of my opponent's lands, but the better part, what makes this card really good. So let me read this to you. Destroy target land, a controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. That is amazing. I love it. I just use that card for that ability. And if I don't need it, or if it's not needed for whatever reason, backside, I'll take the land. Instance, we run in 10. Most of it is kind of like pro and a couple counters, protection, destruction, you know, depending, right? Deflecting swat, straightforward. Flare Fortitude, I will pop one of my humans, or even Winota if I need to protect my board. Flawless maneuver, straightforward, right? Protect my creatures, give them indestructible. Path, arguably one of the best removal in the game. Swords being basically in the same tier level. Heretic Ritual, obviously 2 for 3 with the banning of Dockside and mana crypt. We need to gain more mana. Find ways to get mana faster. So red has a lot of rituals, so it wasn't too much of a big deal. So Heretic Ritual is one of the better ones. There's also another one for 2 for 3, but same concept. Pyroblast, Red Elemental, Silence. I feel like this package is pretty straightforward. Artifacts. This package is straightforward. Signet, Chromox, Petal, Mana Vault, Mox Amber, Diamond, Soul Ring, Talisman, and Dorn. I did get a question, or someone had left a comment on one of my videos if I actually used the art that I post on the Mox field. And yes, this is the version of this card in the deck, same as all these. I don't have endless copies of these, but I do have like 1 or 2s, you know, sets of the mana rocks.
Nigga gonna stand on business every time.
All right, enchantments. Blood Moon, Charitable Levy, probably one of the better cards that I added recently. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast, not a problem. Whenever a player casts a non-creature spell, put a collection counter on Charitable Levy. Then if there are 3 or more collection counters on his sacrifice it, if you do draw a card, and you may search your library for a playing card and put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. So any playing, so could be a dual land. Also, I love that Charitable Levy does. It's a temporary Stax piece. I'm sorry, excuse me. That replaces itself. It gives me a card once it's gone. Love it. High Noon, love it. You know, it's another rule of law, but with the option to pay 5 mana and just deal 5 damage to any target. That's if I need to remove something, right? Smothering Tide, straightforward, right? Treasures, treasures, treasures. Let's get them. Lands, straightforward. Let's see, any stick out? Nope. Ancient Tomb, Cavern of Souls, City Brass, City of Traders. City of Traders is a card. I have about maybe like 6 to 8 copies of this card. Now with the ban Mana Crypt, I'm starting to look at this card more. It's good. It's a good. I see this card as a ritual. Bring it down, tap for 2 mana. Next turn, tap for 2 mana. Play a line. You got 2 colorless floating, but it's gone. It did its job, right? So you just, it's a really good card. It's a little bit on the expensive end. If you don't have it, obviously proxy, cedh, and EDH for the most part is proxy friendly with accepting of sanctioned tournaments. But if you're going to LGS, unless they have specific rules, there should be no reason you shouldn't be able to proxy this card. I don't care about what people play. If it's a rogue card or proxy card, I just want to play. I just want to play. Like at the end of the day, I just want to play. I don't care what you do. If it is a proxy, at least make it at least clear. This ain't like I know what that card is saying. But yeah, you shouldn't. If you don't have it, don't spend $430 on City of Traders. Proxy it. Take a Plains card and just say City of Traders. If people don't know what it means, then just add a little extra text on the bottom. But most people should know what this is. Older players, right? Newer players may not. So, all right, Command Tower. Yada yada, straightforward. I love these lands, the Pyrexian 1 lands. I love these lands. I love them. I love them. All right, I don't run mountains, basic mountains, because of Magus of the Moon and Blood Moon. Don't really need it. Plateau, obviously. Protection for Winota, but everything's pretty straightforward. Again, yeah, this is one of my favorite decks. I would like top 3 decks I just enjoy playing creatures. This enables that, but to play creatures in a different light, stacks, bring them out, bring out more creatures, pump them up, swing, hit people in the face, and just game over. If you like this video, if you want to see more deck techs, leave a comment, drop a crown in the comments, and like always, everybody, stay blessed.
Kings, baby.